Hey, what's up guys? It's Bro Vinny here, back with another Pokemon Sleep video. Today, talking about this sub-skill here, Sleep EXP Bonus. We're going to talk about how it works, why you shouldn't use it, even during Good Sleep Day, and maybe in a few situations where you should use it. But those cases are rare. First of all, what does it do? Very simple, very straightforward. It adds 14% to the Sleep EXP earned by your team. By the way, this is different to this Research EXP earned. This is the EXP earned by your Pokemon. So if you sleep 100% sleep score, in the morning, you'll get 114 EXP per Pokemon. So on this Metapod, it would earn 114 if I do 100% sleep score, add it to this. And the good thing is, in this way, it doesn't consume your candies as opposed to leveling up in this way where you use your candies. Because you might want your candies saved for the evolution, for example, like here. Now, before I tell you why you shouldn't use it, let's get one basic knowledge out of the way first. Sleep EXP Bonus is not a top tier skill. It doesn't offer any benefits to your farming. It doesn't offer any benefits to your berries, ingredients, skills, anything like that. And why is that important? Well, because it takes away one slot of your sub-skill. If you want your Pokemon to be farming the most it can for berry strength, then you want berry finding S. So this one, for example, up there, not Sleep EXP Bonus. You've wasted a slot. And why this is important is because pretty much automatically any Pokemon that has Sleep EXP Bonus in their sub-skill role, it makes that Pokemon relatively not good. Certainly going to be useful for boosting the levels gained on your other Pokemon, but otherwise this Pokemon isn't that good. And why is that important? It's because one of the 5 Pokemon that you're going to get EXP Bonus is this not very good Pokemon. And this is the point that I'm going to make next, is that realistically, you would only put this in your team if you're trying to get this 14% on the rest of your team. So purely from a numerical point of view, 4 of your team members getting 14% is only 56 EXP on extra on total every day. And the reason why I didn't count Metapod is because this Metapod, for example, is not something that's worth my investment. I was never going to go anywhere with it. I'm only using it as a way to boost the EXP of the rest of my team. So my choices here are I either earn an extra 56 EXP on the rest of my team, or I swap out this Metapod and I earn 100 EXP on the Pokemon that I swap in. So something else that could be useful, and I gain 100 EXP as opposed to an extra 56 on the rest of the team. And to me, that sounds better. So as long as you have 5 good Pokemon that you're trying to raise their EXP, not using this skill is better. But what about Good Sleep Day? What about during events? What about if you throw a focus incense? Well, let's do the maths. Thanks to Laura Bella from one of our earlier research from last Good Sleep Day event, we know that this is how EXP is calculated during Good Sleep Day. If you additionally throw an incense, it gets multiplied. So up here you get ×2 on the incense. You get ×3 on the Good Sleep Day event in the second day of the 3-day event. The first and third day, this will be ×2. Now, here is the interesting point we're focusing on today. It's 1.28 because Laura Bella had 2 Pokemon that had Sleep EXP Bonus, and they got added into this category here. So 1.14 plus 0.14, that's how it works. That multiplier is times 1.28. So in other words, she had 2 of these Sleep EXP Bonus. So let's take the highest multiplier during the event, and that's when you want to use your focus incense, ×2 and ×3. So in other words, without any Sleep EXP Bonus, all of your Pokemon will get 600 EXP when they wake up in the morning. Now in this case it's 768, is because we also counted 2 Sleep EXP Bonus. While that sounds good, we have a problem. In Laurabella's case, she's replaced 2 of her Pokemon with 2 that has Sleep EXP bonus. In other words, she's only really raising 3 Pokemon with this massive EXP gain. If we assume that those 2 Pokemon are good and that Laurabella is going to raise them anyway, then there's not a problem. This is always a good thing. But if we assume that they've got Sleep EXP subskill in their subskills, and because of that, generally they're not as good, as they could have other subskills instead, like helping speed or berry finding or helping bonus. That means that this EXP is only going to raise 3 good Pokemon as opposed to 5. So let's do 2 examples. Let's say this 768 on 3 Pokemon. That is a total of 2304 EXP on 3 Pokemon, as opposed to having 5 Pokemon that are all, needing EXP, needing to level up. 5 of them, which is a total of 3000 EXP. That is a net loss of 700 EXP that could be used on your Pokemon. So let's take another example. What about if we only had 1 Pokemon with 14% EXP bonus? Then this multiplier here would be 6.84, and this EXP would be 684. Now 684 for 4 Pokemon is about 2700 EXP. That is still a net loss of almost 300 EXP in total. So while the advantage is you can focus this EXP into a few Pokemon, so the few Pokemon that you do raise, they do earn more. The one that you're just putting in as a filler just for that stat, it actually doesn't make sense. Just for that multiplier, it actually doesn't make sense to do that. So while in the past, I made a recommendation to consider putting Sleep EXP subskill. So for example, this Metapod here, I would have previously suggested you consider putting one of these in your team to really stack up that multiplier on the rest of your team. So maybe bring something that you really need a lot of leveling, like for example, a Larvitar or a Sphere, bring something like that in the rest of your team so you can stack up the multipliers, which is great. There is a net loss because this Pokemon over here may not need the EXP, and it's a bit of a waste. So the situations where this wouldn't apply to you, where this actually can make sense. Let's say I had a really good Pokemon. It's just that one skill, the one thing that wasn't as good was the Sleep EXP. Let's say the berry finding is up here, and then I had helping speed over here. And this is great because it's a berry specialist, and I've got helping speed nature up. Pretty much everything else is good, except that it has the Sleep EXP bonus. All right, you know what? Maybe this Metapod would have been useful anyway. Then having Sleep EXP bonus makes sense because at some point I need to raise its level. There's a catch though. If it's Metapod, you really shouldn't worry because Metapod evolves very early. It can evolve into Butterfree at level 8. So what do you need all that EXP for? Maybe to reach the next sub-skill, but it's really not necessary for Metapod. So you're going to have to find a different Pokemon, a more difficult to raise Pokemon to have that Sleep EXP bonus. And to give you an example, now while I've got Berry Finding S on this Larvitar, and I like it for its Berry Finding S, and it's got Ingredient up, it has EXP gains down, and Larvitar is one of the hardest Pokemon to level up, and it has the highest requirement to evolve. All up costing like 600-700 candies more than the average Pokemon to get to a Tyranitar. I wouldn't mind if the Sleep EXP bonus was this skill instead. So this is one of the situations, if this was the case, where Sleep EXP bonus would make sense. And there aren't many scenarios where this is the case. So you really gotta love this Pokemon a lot for every other aspect, then it makes good sense to have Sleep EXP bonus. So what's my recommendation now if you're on good sleep day and you need to look at multipliers? I would say just pick 5 of your Pokemon that need raising. Not in this case, I don't need to actually raise Sudowoodo, but I need EXP on every other team member here. I can swap up Sudowoodo for something else. Maybe the War Turtle that I haven't evolved yet, so that I can save the candies for evolving. So using the Focus Incense on the second good sleep day to get this 6 times multiplier, but not switching out one important member just so I can get Sleep EXP bonus. Hopefully this makes sense to you guys. My recommendation keeps changing from time to time as we learn new things, do new calculations, maybe new bugs get fixed and new features get implemented. Things will change. And I've said this before, what I've recommended a week ago, a month ago is not going to be the same as what I recommend today, and is not going to be the same as what I'm going to recommend in a month's time. And the truth is, we still don't know everything about this game. So if you want to help out with some research with data collection or calculations or that kind of thing, come to my Discord. We have a data and research chat over here. So if you want to come along and help us out, come join my Discord. I'll leave a link in the description below. If this video helped you, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.